All right, here we are. This is here a demonstration on how to intercept an ELS. I've been struggling with that for a little and just wanted to see if I can record and share my findings. So I'm here currently going to do a landing at Palomar Airport here and close to San Diego, Carlsbad. It's my local airport. Name is KCRQ. Here's the plate for the landing on runway 24, the ILS. Frequency is 108.7, and you can see here the profile. That's the one that's important. You want to hit CDRU at 2300 feet. In order to do that, what I'm going to do is basically I have the plane coming from the west, and I'm going to actually go to WUNUB at 2600, hit about 2300 there, and make a turn here so that I can be facing the runway and the ILS. This is pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So 108.7 is the nav frequency. You can see that at the moment I took the visual on the basically going to GPS to WUNUB, which is a little bit further than CDRU. And I'm setting at the moment the altitude to be 2300 feet, currently at 2400. Again, if we look back at the plates, you can see that the goal is to be at CDRU at 23 and between 26 and 2300 to intercept. Now, the other important aspect here that I want to point out, which I've been struggling with, is actually the speed of the plane. Currently doing 160. This is a bit too fast. I'm going to actually reduce here my speed. I want to be around, I would say, 140 when I will start to intercept the ILS. So that's one of the big issues that I had. I tend to be way too slow when I was intercepting the ELS. Anything, I would say, below 130, 120 is not going to work. And we'll see that here in the display here, that basically it will never capture. We'll get there in a few minutes here. So again, we're about 3.8 miles from WNUB. Well, we'll do basically 180 to face back to CDRU, which we will want to be at 2300 as we get into that. So that's going to be coming very quickly. We'll continue to let it fly. You see here I'm about 140, which is perfect there. I'm going to keep that as a speed. So I'm currently on a nav mode, GPS, vertical speed. Basically everything is stable, and that's another important point when you do those ILS approaches. You don't want to be coming and shooting. You want to be pretty stable on the altitude and the angle that you're going to intercept the ILS. All right, so we're passing CDRU here. We're going to WUNB. And so here the idea is to try to make 180 degrees around. And one thing I'll do here is I'll probably take the heading and start to do a manual turn here, just using the heading area here to do my turn. So I'm going to go and hit that. So I'm using the heading to make my turn, keeping basically 2300. The autopilot takes care of that. All right, so I'm going to make my turn around here. There we go. It's nice to have that feature. So I'm basically turning my heading bug, as you can see here in the middle here, slowly, so that I can basically orient myself to be ready for capturing. Now, while I do that, I'm going to actually change the CDI from GPS to VLOC, and you can see already that the ILS is here, right? We have ILS 108.7, and you can see here that the glide slope is still too high, and then here we're a little bit more too much to the right of the airfield, which is normal. All right, so here let's continue to turn. That yellow line there on my PMS indicates basically my heading bug. And all right, we're gonna be ready there. I'm still looking at my speed 140. I'm going to give it a little bit more, and here we go. Okay, now we are pretty much lined up with our runway, which is runway 24, which is there where I am going to be putting my heading bug. Okay, so now we are pretty much established. We're getting very close to CDRU at 2300. Again, reminder here, we're basically coming here a little bit higher than 23, well, no, at 2300, we're coming in right straight. And we're going to intercept CDRU in a few seconds. Now, the localizer is actually trying to get its job now. And I'm going to actually click approach here. You see that the speed is actually 140. All right, you see that the ILS has been picking up the signal and is basically trying to line the plane out for the ILS. My GPS, my glide slope is starting to really get into the middle, and if everything is right, you're going to be seeing here the indicator in the middle going to lock and glide strobe at the moment. There you go. Here is the intercept. This is what we want to see. Lock, glide strobe. Now like that, it's going to be basically correcting a little bit the horizontal while the vertical is already being captured. That's perfect. Okay, I'm going to now get the gear down, give it one flap, and start to also reduce my speed here. I'm going to about 2000 on the manifold, about 2000 RPM, and slowly let it basically slow down. Perfect. So I was able to demonstrate, and I tell you, if you go a bit too fast in the beginning, you never get lock and GS. It stays in GS mode on the bottom, and it basically doesn't work. So you have to do it by hand. But here it's basically the way it's done when you're doing the intercept, and really let the autopilot do the work. Very useful when you're in ILS conditions. At the moment, this is VFR, pretty easy to do by yourself. But that's going to be something to practice over and over until you get it right, so you can do those IFR flights, which I love to do. To be honest, it's especially when you start to do VATSIM and things like that, it's good when the plane can help you out while you have to manage all the other elements. Okay, we're about 4 nautical miles from the runway, coming down nicely. You see the speed is coming down, 120. And yeah, that's all I do. I'm basically letting the plane fly. Okay, let's see what else we can check out. Maybe give another flap here. All right, another notch on flaps. Here we go. Yeah, my goal is to get around 100 when we get close to the touch point. I'll let it basically still do its work. I'm gonna extend all my flaps now. So we're getting to about 2 miles from the plate here, ready for the touchdown. I'm gonna start to put my feet on the rudder so I can get the last minute action and braking. So we can get, you can see the poppy lights here is 2 and 2, actually 3 and 2, but the plane is doing its job to really maintain on the glide slope. Everything is doing well, getting to 100. I'm going very soon basically to be disengaging the autopilot. You can still leave it until you want. I like to still be the captain here. I'm going to now disengage autopilot and take the rest by myself. All right, here we go. All right, 2 and 2. All right, gear down, full flap. About 80. All right, nice and gentle. Now don't judge me on my landing here. The goal was to show you the ILS, but I'm still trying to do a good job. Here we go. Not too bad, not too bad, not too shabby. All right, a little bit on the brake, let it roll, and I'm going to get out of the way for the next incoming plane. Making my left here. Perfect. Super, super, super. So happy that I could record that for you guys. Again, my first recording here, but you know, there's a first in everything. Here we go.